Shalom.
Shalom.
All praise to the Most High, Yeshua, Haya, Bahashem, Mashiach, Shai, Yishak Shema,
Yishak Tzad.
may the holy seat of Jeshurun, set apart remnant of the Most High chosen, seeking to keep the law, statutes, and commandments and the faith in the King Shai, and walk in all the fruits of the Ruach Kodash power, right? We're blessed to come before y'all today, another lesson. We're continuing on in the breakdown of the title of the lesson is the New Testament Authentic, right? Want to make sure there's no confusion out here on the path to our salvation, that it goes through Hamashiach Yeshua, right? And there's some doctrine out there, and that's why we got to go through this. So none of our brothers can, be tossed to and fro or be taken in a strong delusion of, this doctrine, that you should know, that our King, he is the way, the truth, and the light, and no one's going to come into the Father, the hope of salvation, the promises, but through him, right? So we're going to deal with, today, we're going to deal with sacrifice, right? The portion of understanding of, Old Testament only or non-New Testament Israelites is that our sacrifices can only be of animal sacrifice in reference to atonement for sin, and that the sacrifice of Yeshua was a human sacrifice that is not lawful according to the law, right? So we're going to go on that today. Pray you get edified and get your books, your Bibles out, and let's go over this truth, right? So just open up with Shema.
I'm going to start off with the Shema, which is in Deuteronomy Chapter 6, verse 4. Shema, Yasha Ahaya, Alahaya Nawa, Ahaya Akkad.
Shema Yasha Allah Ahaya Nawa Ahaya Akkad.
Which reads in Deuteronomy Chapter 6, verse 4, Hear, O Israel, the Most High, our power is one power.
Hear, O Israel, Ahaya, our power is one power, right? Blessed greeting to all our brethren throughout the four corners of the earth. Peace and blessings. And let's get on into this word, right? We start in Psalms chapter 50 and verse 5. You want to know, right? The origin and the foundation of sacrifices and what type of sacrifice is acceptable to our Father in heaven, right?
So this is in the book of Psalms chapter 50, verse 5.
Come on.
Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice.
So there is a covenant contract agreement with the Most High through sacrifice, right? And so we got to identify what type of sacrifice is, according to Scripture, included in this covenant contract with the Most High, right? So let's go to Numbers chapter 28, and we're going to start there. Numbers chapter 28 and verse 1.
It's in the book of Numbers chapter 28, verse 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel, and say unto them, My offering and my bread for my sacrifices, made by fire,
right?
For a sweet savor unto me, shall ye observe to offer unto me in their due season.
So specific sacrifices, specific way to how to sacrifice these sacrifices, and specific time that is going to be given as an instruction that Israel has to follow. Come on.
And thou shalt say unto them, This is the offering made by fire, which ye shall offer unto the Most High.
This is the offering made by fire on the altar. Come on.
2 lambs of the first year without spot, day by day, for a continual burnt offering.
Every day, 2 lambs, day by day. Come on.
The 1 lamb shalt thou offer in the morning.
This is your morning prayer. All right. Come on.
And the other lamb shalt thou offer at even.
This is your evening prayer. All right. This is what is predicated. Our 3 times that we pray a day off of these 2 sacrifices right here. Come on.
And a 10th part of an ephah of flour for a meat offering, mingled with the 4th part of a hin of beaten oil. It is a continual burnt offering which was ordained in Mount Sinai for a sweet savor, a sacrifice made by fire unto the Most High.
Sacrifice unto the Most High. So even as we don't have a standing tabernacle, right? This is how we keep this continual ordinance that was declared when we had the sanctuary, which is the tent, and when the temple was standing, and now what our body be in the temple. All right. This is how we still can continue to offer these 2 lambs or 2 sacrifices in the morning and in the evening. Come on.
And the drink offering thereof shall be the 4th part of a hin for the 1 lamb. In the holy place shalt thou cause the strong wine to be poured unto the Most High for a drink offering.
Right.
And the other lamb shalt thou offer at even, as the meat offering of the morning, and as the drink offering thereof, thou shalt offer it.
So you're offering it the same way, the same one, the one from the day is offered the same way, the one from night. Come on.
A sacrifice made by fire of a sweet savor unto the Most High.
Right. Sweet savor means that it's pleasing to the Most High. It's acceptable unto the Most High, because there are sacrifices that he don't receive. Okay, you get that example from Cain, right? He had respect unto Abel's sacrifice. He didn't have respect unto Cain. So the sacrifice is very specific for it to be accepted by the Most High. Come on.
And on the Sabbath day, 2 lambs of the first year without spot, and 2 10 deals of flour for a meat offering mingled with oil, and the drink offering thereof. This is the burnt offering of every Sabbath.
This is the burnt offering of every Sabbath.
Beside the continual burnt offering and his drink offering.
Right. So we're just going through showing you that the Most High had made a covenant with us in reference to sacrifices, and these are the burnt offerings. We're speaking on a couple of the burnt offerings right here, right? Now, let's go to Leviticus chapter 23 and 19. Setting the table. I already know. Setting the table, right? Leviticus 23 and verse 19.
This is in the book of Leviticus chapter 23, verse 19. Then ye shall sacrifice 1 kid of the goats,
a young goat,
for a sin offering.
Come on.
And 2 lambs of the first year for a sacrifice of peace offering.
So you got the goat for the sin offering, and you got the lambs of the first year for a sacrifice of peace offerings, right? Showing you more specific, right, animals according to what offering or what sacrifice you're offering, right? So let's go to Leviticus 6. Read a little more there. Leviticus 6 and verse 6.
It's in the book of Leviticus chapter 6, verse 6, and it reads, and he shall bring his trespass offering unto the Most High.
So trespasses, if you transgress the law, right? Come on.
A ram without blemish out of the flock.
So a male lamb, a ram without blemish out of the flock.
Which thy estimation for a trespass offering unto the priest.
The trespass offering for the priest. Come on.
And the priest shall make an atonement for him.
So he's going to make an atonement for his sin, right? This is the price. This is the reconciling, right? That is made to the Most High for him. It's that ram, right? And what portion of the ram? Keep going.
Says before the Most High, and it shall be forgiven him for anything of all that he hath done and trespassing therein.
So this is the ordinance, right? It have to be this ram that atones for the sin of that priest and is forgiven of, right? Let's go a little more. Let's get Leviticus 16 and start at verse 17.
It's in the book of Leviticus. This is chapter 16, verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
And there shall be no man in the tabernacle of the congregation
Okay, go ahead.
when he goeth in to make an atonement in the holy place.
So this would just be the high priest going in, making atonement for the children of Israel. And it said he's the only one in there. Go ahead.
Until he come out and have made an atonement for himself
And he make an atonement for himself. Come on.
and for his household and for all the congregation of Israel.
Come on.
And he shall go out unto the altar that is before the Most High and make an atonement for it.
So it's the altar of incense. Come on.
And shall take of the blood of the bullock.
And take what?
And shall take of the blood of the bullock.
Right.
And of the blood of the goat. And put it upon the horns of the altar round about.
So the blood of these animals is in the ordinance of the atonement for the trespass or the sin. Right? Come on.
And he shall sprinkle of the blood upon it with his fingers 7 times. And cleanse it.
Right.
And hallow it from the uncleanliness of the children of Israel.
So he's sanctifying it, right? What is he doing? He's using this blood from this animal, specific animal of a certain year, and it's used for the atonement for his sin and his household and for the children of Israel, right? He's taking the blood, putting it on the horns, and he's sprinkling 7 times, right? So now let's go to chapter 17.
This is still in the book of Leviticus, chapter 17, verse 10.
Because we want to break down what is the relevance of the blood he's using from this ram. Come on.
And whatsoever man there be of the house of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn among you, that eateth any manner of blood, I will even set my face against that soul that eateth blood, and will cut him off from among his people. So understanding the Levites, they used to eat of the sacrifices. They are not supposed to eat the blood. Neither is the nation Israel supposed to eat it. Right? Keep going. It says, for the life of the flesh is in the blood.
For the life of the flesh. Very important statement here. Life of the flesh. It's not giving you a connotation right now on which flesh. Is telling you the life of the flesh is in the blood, right? Come on.
And I have given it to you upon the altar.
So he's giving you the flesh up on the altar. Come on.
To make an atonement for your souls.
To make atonement for your souls. Come on.
For it is the blood.
For it is the blood.
That maketh an atonement for the soul.
So making an atonement for your soul. So they taking the animal, breaking it down, separating, certain ordinances, certain organs are separated, and they burn the animal on the altar, but the blood is put on the horns of the altar and is put on the horns of the altar incense before the Most High and the Holy of Holies, right? Read the last line again.
It says, for it is the blood that make an atonement for the soul.
So we know that the blood is the atoning for the soul when the soul sinned. When that man sinned, when that woman sinned, it's the blood that's going to cleanse that, right? So what is it telling you? If there's a sin committed, that there has to be some blood to make an atonement, to make it all right, to make it appeasable to the Most High for that sin, as a payment, right? As a wage. It is a requirement. Somebody sins, it's got to be some type of bloodshed that's going to pay the payment for that sin. And the blood can't be shed unless that flesh is put to death. That's what we've seen. They're never shedding any blood of an animal, and the animal's still alive, running around. It means that some flesh has to die, and that blood has to be sacrificed unto the Most High to pay for that sin. You understand? So let's go to Genesis chapter 2. Because it said that the life of the flesh is in the blood. So let's see, right? Because the whole thing is humans, right? In reference to Yeshua, his body is not supposed to be a sacrifice. This is what's taught, y'all. That according to the law, his body is not supposed to be sacrificed. But we just read that the life of flesh is the blood. So we got to check and see what flesh is. And if that's qualified, meaning the body, if that's a qualifying flesh, you understand? Bring it out.
This is in Genesis chapter 2, verse 21.
Uh-huh.
And the Most High power caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam,
Mm-hmm.
and he slept,
Mm-hmm.
and he took one of his ribs
Mm-hmm.
and closed up the flesh
Mm-hmm.
instead thereof.
He closed up his flesh instead thereof. So this is talking about the body of Adam, right? Mind you, we just read again, okay? The life of all flesh is in the blood, right? So keep going.
And the rib which the Most High power had taken from man,
Uh-huh.
made he a woman,
Mm-hmm.
and brought her unto the man.
Come on.
And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones,
Uh-huh.
and flesh of my flesh.
Flesh of my flesh. So he's naming her body as flesh of my flesh, saying it came from my flesh. So you got man and woman who are both being classified as flesh right here, right? Come on.
She shall be called woman,
Mm-hmm.
because she was taken out of a man.
Come on. Now let's go to Genesis chapter. Matter of fact, go ahead, bring out 24.
Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother,
Uh-huh.
and shall cleave unto his wife,
Right.
and they shall be one flesh.
They shall be one flesh. So it's pretty clear here that humans are in the biblical definition of flesh. All right. And there is blood in the flesh of humans. Right. Come on. Let's go to Genesis chapter 6. Get a little more.
This is in the book of Genesis chapter 6, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
And the Most High saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth,
Mm-hmm.
and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
Right. So this is during the days of Noah. And if you don't know that these are fallen angels that came and slept with the daughters of men, taught men how to do wickedness. And this is why all the thoughts of men were wicked, because these mighty giants, men of renown, right, and the angels were giving technology and understanding to men that they didn't have before, teaching them how to war, teaching them the parts of the body to strike a man that he died, the death blows, right? Teaching a woman how to beautify their eyelids to make them seductive toward the men, right? These things were taught. These things didn't just pop up and people just started doing, all right? Fallen angels and offspring of their sin with the daughters of men taught them this, right? So all their thoughts were evil. Come on.
And it repented the Most High that he had made man on the earth.
It bothered him, like, man, why did I even make these dudes, man? Hey, look what they're doing. Come on.
And it grieved him at his heart.
It really bothered him. All right, come on.
And the Most High said, I will destroy man whom I have created
Right.
from the face of the earth.
Yeah, you're going to destroy man created from the face of the earth. Come on.
Both man and beast.
And beast now, he's including them.
And the creeping thing. And the fowls of the air. For it repenteth me that I have made them.
So this is also showing you there was something wrong with the beast and the creeping things and the fowls of the air, because why would the Most High destroy them as well? Because they tell you, Book of Enoch, Book of Jubilees, that these angels sinned and transgressed, and they messed with the original creature of cattle, of creeping things and of fowl, to where they were not natural anymore. That's why they were included in the destruction that he was going to have toward mankind, right? Keep going.
But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Most High. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations, and Noah walked with the highest.
So he feared the Most High, walked with the Most High. Come on.
And Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth also was corrupt before Ahiah.
Read that again.
The earth also was corrupt before Ahiah.
So the original order, the original creation of the earth, it was altered. It was not original. It was corrupt. It's no good. It's messed up now. right? The Most High looking at it like, man, this stuff messed up. I didn't make this way, right? Come on.
And the earth was filled with violence.
There was no peace. Earth was filled with violence. Come on.
And Ahijah looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt. For all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth.
So all the flesh was corrupt on the earth. This is mankind. This is the fowl. This is the beast. This is the creeping thing. You understand? The fowls, the beast, the creeping thing, and mankind, they were all corrupt before the Most High. This is what the Most High is saying to all the flesh, right? So we know now that the flesh is not just restricted to cattle, to pigeons and turtle doves, which are lawful animals for sacrifice, right? It's not restricted to that, right? So now let's go forward a little more. Let's go back to Leviticus chapter 18. See a little more. All y'all that know that Shai is our forever holy atonement for sin, forbear, take notes, because this thing is out there in a real way, right? This doctrine is out there. All right, let's go. Leviticus 18.
This is Leviticus 18, verse 21. And thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Moloch, neither shalt thou profane the name of thy power. I am the Most High. So you got a sacrifice right here. Okay, the seed is offspring, right? Children. This is in our law that we were not to offer our children as a burnt sacrifice to this deity, right? This is what it was. It would be a brazen, brass, or iron idol that they would either have coals under it burning or have coals inside it, and they will put our children in there and sacrifice their children. So that's a human sacrifice right there. Okay, it's not to the Most High. Okay, it's to the devil, and the people who serve him. But that is human sacrifice right there, right? Let's bring out, let's go to Leviticus 20. This is Leviticus chapter 20, verse 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, again, thou shalt say to the children of Israel, whosoever he be of the children of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn in Israel, that giveth any of his seed unto Moloch,
give any of his children to this wicked idol,
he shall surely be put to death.
He's going to get put to death. Now, why is he going to get put to death? Because he's transgressing this law, right? He's transgressing this law. If you transgress the law, then if it is a law that you transgress unto death, then he has to die, right? But if it's a transgression that he doesn't have to get put to death, then they bring the animal, right? So when this man is getting put to death, if he transgressed this law, he has to die. His blood is going to get shed. That blood is going to make an atonement to the Most High and make him feel, okay, all right, you put sin away from Israel. It's cool. You dealt with it, right? Because I don't want no sin up in the camp. I don't want no sin up in the congregation. I want the congregation holy, set apart, all doing what I showed y'all to do, which is holy and set apart from the world, right? So that's why I was telling you, this man, he got to get put to death. Come on.
It says, the people of the land shall stone him with stones.
They're going to throw rocks at him until he die, right? That's going to be bloody. That's not going to be without blood. That bloodshed is going to run on the earth, right? And the earth is going to receive that blood, right? Keep going.
And I will set my face against that man.
So he's going to be against that man because he transgressed. Come on.
And will cut him off from among his people.
He's going to get killed. Come on.
Because he had given of his seed unto Moloch to defile my sanctuary,
right?
And to profane my holy name.
So that profanes Israel, right? Because the way the Most High's name is profaned is when we do things that the heathens do, right? When you partake in Christmas coming up, Halloween right around the corner, Thanksgiving. When you partake in that, you're profaning the name of the Most High because he separated us unto himself. First, he called us by his name, right? We're the princes of the power, Yasha Allah. And now we're doing stuff that the heathens do. as his people, that's how his name is being profaned, right? So he set his face against us, right? Come on.
And if the people of the land doeth anyways hide their eyes from the man,
Mhm.
when he giveth of his seed unto Moloch, and kill him not.
So if the people are in agreement with this worship, this idol worship, come on.
Then I will set my face against that man and against his family, and will cut him off, and all that goeth whoring after him to commit whoredom with Moloch from among their people.
So it's called whoredom because we are known as woman unto the Most High, and we're married to him by the covenant of these laws, statutes, and commandments. And we do things outside of the covenant, we're cheating on the Most High, we're committing a whoredom, we're being a harlot, right, with these other nations. So it's saying the other men, they're going to be committing a whoredom with this man that's doing that, then they got to get put to death too, right? And just to touch on that for a second, you might think this is a biblical thing. This happens now, y'all, right? A lot of this is about to happen on a wide scale in these next coming months. And these holidays that are kept throughout the earth, on the surface, you think, oh, trick or treat and Thanksgiving and Christmas. This is a time when all your children that are kidnapped and taken away are being sacrificed to Moloch, man. And that's real. That's real. The same days you might, those of y'all, you know, even mostly in the Christian church, that might think there's no harm in this holiday. You're participating because behind closed doors, when you're eating your food around the same time that you're gathering with your family members, they're underground somewhere. They're in some secret society somewhere, sacrificing children, man. And that's real. So you need to really separate yourself from the ways, all the ways of the world. If it's not in the scriptures, you have no business doing it, Yasha Allah, right? Also, this world, right? Give me Job right quick. Job 9:24, right? I want to make this clear as well, right? Job 9:24. We're living in some real extreme times right now. And there's a lot of truth that's coming out. A lot of people are talking that weren't talking before. The Most High put the spirit on these things, and now it's being revealed. Come on.
This is in the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24.
Right.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
The earth, the whole earth. The Most High gave into the hands of the wicked because it got corrupt. Let's say, man, do your thing, man. It's sin in the earth, man. Do your thing. I'm gonna deal with my chosen. But y'all do your thing. Come on.
He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So
the wicked one in the earth, right? The prince of the power of the air, right? The one who done gave you a blonde hair, blue-eyed Messiah, right? This is the one who's running the earth. Why am I saying that? You can give your child and you can sacrifice your child unto Moloch today by being in agreement with the wicked ways of this earth. Do what? Well, give me an example. When a child wants to go into the music industry, right? Or you got your actors and actresses as kids, right? They're not old enough to sign a contract. They're minors. So yes, your parents, when you sign that contract, you're signing them over to Moloch. You might say, how am I doing that? They're just acting. There's rituals, okay, in this world that has been given over to the hand of the wicked. They're about to do some real wicked things with your child that you signed that contract for, that are against this law, that are against this Torah, man. So you sign your child in some acting, and you got to drop him off to do his little shows, and you sign him over to rapping and singing, you got to drop him off to the studios. Best believe, according to Satan's world and the managers and CEOs that are over the company that sign him, you're letting them, you're signing a contract to let them do whatever they want to that boy. And they doing something to that boy or that girl for sure. If they dealing with pedophilia with that boy, they're dealing with him in an unnatural manner for sure, sexually. right? This is how you modern day sign your children over there. And you got to be able to put this together. All right. You're not going to be having fortune and fame in this world off your talents, off how special we are as a people, unless you get down with Satan and how he get down. Right. Yeah, I'm saying a lot. I'm saying a whole lot of people, all the people you know that's underage and grow up in the industry. Right. For instance, just one example, Bow Wow. That little boy started rapping, he was like 12 years old. From my understanding, it might be before that. His mama signed him over to Moloch because his mama signed him into the game. And yeah, they mess with that boy, man. If you don't know that, you got to open your eyes. B2K, immature. All of them boys, man. Y'all might have seen the videos, man. Where the boys start talking about, what is his name, Razby? Start talking about it. And they try to shut him up. This stuff happens, man. All right. And it happens in different forms. Now the children are not just getting burnt to Moloch. Now they're getting sexually abused. Right. This stuff is happening, man. You cannot think that it's that innocent and simple for these children to come out here in a world that the Most High gave into the hands of the wicked, man. Okay. Me and the Og, man, we from LA, we from, man, Hollywood is right there. We see this stuff, man, right? I can give you plenty of stories, all right, of people I know that refused to go into the industry because they saw what it was about. They were approached face to face with what they were told to have to do to make it. And they said, no, I'm good, right? So understand, be careful what's going on right now with your kids for sure, right? Even giving them over to take this medicine. You sign your child over, man. All right? Most High tell us to do that. Most High say, man, if any of us are sick, man, go to the elders and let them lay hands and pray for him. That's what we do. All right? So where your faith at, man? Keep your faith, man, in the Most High and in his word, man. And we deal with all things, man, according to the law, right? So just wanted to bring that out. Getting back into the law, let's go to Deuteronomy Chapter 30, right?
This is in the book of Deuteronomy Chapter 30. Said, see, I have set before thee this day.
What verse you at?
I'm at verse 15.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is once again Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
See, I have set before thee this day life and good and death and evil.
So this is the law. You keep it, you got life and good and the blessings. You break it, you got what? Death and evil and the curses, right? So understanding, just like we've been bringing out, when you transgress the law, according to what Moses said before us, he's saying if you transgress the law, you got death and evil coming to you. It's coming to you, right? Why? Because when you transgress the law, somebody's blood has to be shed, right? Somebody's blood has to be shed to atone for that sin. As simple as that, right? Come on.
In that I command thee this day to love the Most High thy power, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply.
That you can continue to live and have children and, be fruitful on the earth.
And the Most High thy power shall bless thee in the land, whither thou goest to possess it.
So let's go to Proverbs Chapter 6, verse 27. So we're just showing you, okay, that when a transgression is committed, that some blood of some flesh, okay, it has to be sacrificed, right? To make that atonement for the sin, the blood of that flesh has to be the way that atonement is sin, either by forgiveness of that sin or paying the payment for that sin, which would be death of that flesh, right? Go ahead and bring it out.
This is in the book of Proverbs chapter 6, verse 27.
Right.
Can a man take fire in his bosom and in his clothes not be burnt?
So this is a rhetorical question. Come on.
Can one go up upon hot coals and his feet not be burnt?
Right. So it's giving you understanding, like, if you commit sin, then you're going to get put to death. right? It's trying to give you some understanding here that these things are not going to happen. You're not going to transgress the law, and then there's nothing going to happen to you, right? The Bible tells you the Most High have not given no man a license to sin, right? Most High given no man a license to sin. So if you commit sin, somebody's going to die. Either a person or an animal, because that blood has to be shed, right? Bring that out again.
It says, Proverbs Chapter 6, verse 27.
Mm-hmm.
Can a man take fire in his bosom and his clothes not be burnt?
That's a guarantee. If he take fire, put it in his shirt, man, he gonna catch on fire. Come on.
Can one go upon hot coals and his feet not be burnt?
Can you walk up on the fire and your feet not gonna get burnt? No, man, it's being recorded. It's letting you know. And if you do certain things, it's certain repercussions gonna come with that. Anybody trying to transgress the law, it's some blood that gotta be shed for that. All right. Let's go back to Genesis. Genesis 22. It's 22, 1 and 2.
This is in the book Genesis chapter 22, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass after these things that Ahiah did tempt Abraham and said unto him, Abraham, and he said, Behold, here I am.
So let's break something else down. Just like we also just read in 2 verses. You don't want to, the Most High, he's not a tempter, right? He's not going to tempt you, okay, with evil, right? He's not going to, that's why we read the scripture also saying, if you pick fire and you put it in your clothes, you're going to get burned, right? He's not going to tell you, hey, put that fire in your bosom and see if you get burned. Walk on them coals and see if your feet don't get burnt off, right? So he's not going to tempt you with evil, right? But we're going to read about a temptation right here, right? And this is to set the table to show you, right, that the Most High don't tempt with evil. He don't do that. That's not of him. Come on.
And he said, Take now thy son.
Take your son, who is flesh, a human. Come on.
Thine only son, Isaac.
Uh-huh.
Whom thou lovest,
Uh-huh.
and get thee into the land of Moriah,
Uh-huh.
and offer him there for a burnt offering
Uh-huh.
upon one of the mountains which I will tell thee of.
Right. So this is Abram being told, hey, it says he tempted him. Verse 1, it says, the Most High did tempt Abraham, right? Now we know the Most High don't tempt nobody with evil, right? And we know the story of this, that the Most High wanted to see if Abram was going to withhold his only son because the promises were to go through Isaac. And so the Most High was tempting Abram, like I told him that the promises will go through his son. But now I'm going to tell him, man, go take your son up and go offer him as a burnt sacrifice to me at the high place on the top of the mountain. And we know the story. He was about to do it. An angel stayed his hand, and there was a ram in the bush, right? Male lamb. And he took that and sacrificed it, right? But what is this telling you right here? Telling you that, man, the Most High told him, man, sacrifice your son, right? Now, he don't tempt you with evil. That's the point. So that wasn't an evil thing to the Most High to tell him that. He could have tempted him with anything he wanted, but that was not something that was out of the category of a sacrifice to the Most High. That's what we're showing you. He told him, man, go sacrifice your son. That wasn't evil to the Most High for him to tell him that, right? He don't tempt you with some evil stuff, right? So that this has to be the beginning of you seeing that that's not wicked for the Most High to sacrifice a person. It's not wicked. It's in the law. If they transgress, that's a sacrifice because they are put to death, period, right? Now let's get Numbers. Let's get some examples of the Most High being all right and requiring sacrifice of human, right? Because Mashiach, his sacrifice is supposed to be unlawful. We're going to see, according to the law, if human sacrifice is anything that the Most High is against, right? Let's go to Numbers 25, right?
This is in the book of Numbers, chapter 25, verse 1.
Come on.
And Israel abode in Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab.
So as we just went over earlier, whoredom means when you're dealing with idols, dealing with someone other than the Most High, and they were dealing with the daughters of Moab in a wicked way. Come on.
And they called the people into the sacrifices of their powers.
So they're sacrificing something to the Most High and they're sacrificing something to the devil. Went over that, right? Come on.
And the people did eat and bow down to their powers.
All right, so they're just like the Levites eat our sacrifices, they eat their sacrifices as well. Come on.
And Israel joined himself into Baal Peor. And the anger of the Most High was kindled against Israel.
So I got anger because we're disobedient. Come on.
And the Most High said unto Moses,
what did he say to Moses?
Take all the heads of the people.
Take what?
Take all the heads of the people. And hang them up before the Most High against the sun.
Read that part again.
Take all the heads of the people.
Take everybody's head, chop their head off, and do what with it?
And hang them up before the Most High against the sun. That the fierce anger of the Most High may be turned away from Israel.
So that was an atonement that the Most High told Moses, chop them dudes' heads off and hang them up before me. Because I'm so mad at these dudes right now, bro. Oh, I'm so mad at you, man. Chop their heads off and hang them up so I can remember what you did. So I can look at it all day and make sure I'm seeing that, you know what? Y'all dealt with it. Y'all put sin away from Israel, right? This is the Most High telling Moses to do that, right? Why didn't you tell Moses, hey, go sacrifice some animals for them and atone for their sin? Why didn't you tell them that? They transgressed. They dealt with idolatry. He said, man, cut their heads off. Blood's going to spill when you do that. And sit their heads up in front of me all day. Because I'm so mad right now, man. I'm ready to wreck shop through the nation right now, right? That's what the Most High said. Come on.
And Moses said unto the judges of Israel,
these are the Levites, come on.
Slay ye every one his men that were joined unto Baal Peor.
All the Israelites that was dealing with Baal Peor, man, go kill them all. That's blood going to be shed for the transgression. Come on.
Says, and behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought unto his brethren a Midianitish woman.
So after that happened, another brother still tripping, brought him a Midianite woman. It's an Ishmaelite, right? Brought in and to the camp. Like, man, look, I got this girl, man. Look at this girl right here. I got it. Come on.
In the sight of Moses, and in the sight of all the congregation of children of Israel, who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation.
They weeping because they just got done wrong, and the Most High just judged them. And this buster gonna come in still on some dumb stuff, bring a Midianite-ish woman inside the congregation. Come on.
And when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar,
this is the son of the priest Eleazar, Phinehas, come on.
The son of Aaron, the priest, saw it. He rose up from amongst the congregation and took a javelin in his hand.
Whoa, this dude got up like, hold on, man. We just got, Most High just judged these brothers right here, and you walking in here at everybody in the whole camp. This one, Phinehas jumped up and took a weapon in his hand. Come on.
And he went after the man of Israel into the tent.
He went in that dude's house. He went in his tent. Come on.
And thrust both of them thorough.
What'd he do?
He thrust both of them thorough. And the man of Israel and the woman through her belly. So the plague was stayed from the children of Israel.
So the plague was stayed from the children of Israel. Because the Most High plagued the people. Start killing them. So Levites may start killing them. But when Phinehas went in there and shed the blood of that sinful man and the woman without nobody telling him, right? He knew right from wrong, man. Without nobody telling him, that stayed the plague that was upon Israel. That is directly not likened, but that is an atonement for sin. You read all through the law when our forefathers was cutting them, not just in the wilderness, right? And Moses would atone for them. Most High, all right, stay the plague, right? Stop smoting them, stop killing them. Let's see what happened after Phinehas killed both of them. Come on.
And those that died in the plague were 24,000.
So 24,000 people had died before Phineas did this from disobeying the Most High, dealing with the Moabites. Come on.
And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying,
Uh-huh.
Phinehas, the son of Eleazar,
Mm-hmm.
the son of Aaron the priest,
Mm-hmm.
hath turned my wrath away from the children of Israel.
He turned the wrath of the Most High away from the children of Israel. How did he do that? Because he went, judged, and killed them 2 people. Shed their blood. Right? So the Most High was pleased with him doing that and said, you know what? I ain't going to kill no more. When he saw that happen. Come on.
While he was zealous for my sake among them,
He had the zeal inside of him. Come on.
that I consumed not the children of Israel in my jealousy.
But he wasn't going to kill any more Israelites because he was jealous of us dealing with another nation's deity. So what Phineas did, it made the Most High like, all right, I ain't going to plague him no more. Come on.
Wherefore say, behold, I give unto him my covenant of peace.
So the covenant was given to the Levites. You already know this, the Levitical priesthood, right? Come on.
And he shall have it, and his seed after him.
It's the Levites, come on.
Even the covenant of an everlasting priesthood, because he was zealous for his power.
So he was zealous for the Most High.
And made an atonement for the children of Israel.
He made a what?
And he made an atonement for the children of Israel.
So I thought, so just like you read Leviticus 17, is the blood that maketh atonement for sin. When he shed that blood, he didn't offer no lamb, no ram, no goat. He shed the blood of that flesh of that man, Zimri and Cosby, right? Shed that blood of them, and that made atonement for the children of Israel. That's human sacrifice, right? That's not even counting the heads he told to sit up before him. And those are other human sacrifices that turned the wrath and the plague away from the Most High, away from the children of Israel that he had upon him, right? Let's get some more, right? Leviticus 20. Leviticus 20. It is the blood of the flesh that maketh atonement for sin, right?
This is in the book of Leviticus 20, chapter 9. Chapter 20, verse 9. For everyone that curseth his father or his mother.
So every child, right? Or one, it doesn't say child. It says everyone, whoever cursed their mom or their daddy, right?
Shall be surely put to death.
He's going to get put to death. Come on.
He hath cursed his father or his mother. His blood shall be upon him.
His blood. Tell you real clear. I got to see some blood, man. You just transgressed my law. Right? You just cussed out your mom and your daddy. You got to get put. I need some blood, man. So I can appease my anger of what you doing, man. You tripping right now, man. I need to see some blood. And the blood not coming from lamb or goat. It's coming from that person. Right? Let's get another one. Come on.
And the man that committed adultery with another man's wife.
A man that slept with another man's wife.
Even he that committed adultery with his neighbor's wife. The adulterer.
The man.
And the adulteress.
And the woman that man slept with.
Shall surely be put to death.
That's more blood. From the humans, not from goats and lambs. That's from them. Come on.
And the man that lieth with his father's wife.
Right, so the man that dealt and he had sex with his father's wife. Come on.
Hath uncovered his father's nakedness.
This is what Reuben did. Right? Come on.
Both of them shall be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them.
The blood. That's what's required. You cutting up. I need to see the blood. Come on. One more.
And if a man lie with his daughter-in-law, both of them shall surely be put to death. They have wrought confusion. Their blood shall be upon them.
Their what?
Their blood shall be upon them.
More blood sacrifice from humans for the atoning of their sin. One more.
If a man also lie with mankind.
That fruity homosexual stuff. Right? Come on.
As he lieth with a woman. Both of them have committed an abomination.
They have done something that the Most High hates. That's what abomination is. Come on.
They shall surely be put to death.
They're getting put to death.
Their blood shall be upon them.
And their blood is going to be upon them. This is human sacrifice, all in the law. Right? All in the law. man. For what? For transgressions of the law. Most High needs that blood, man. So it's showing you that there is atonement for the sins of Israel through animal sacrifice, that flesh, but through humans as well. It's the same thing, right? So this should begin to give you biblical evidence that it wasn't a far-fetched thing, right? For the Most High to send his word in the flesh, and that he sacrificed his flesh and his blood for the atonement for the nation of Israel. All right, let's get some more. Let's get 1 Kings chapter 13, verse 1. 1 Kings chapter 13 and verse 1.
This is in the book of 1 Kings chapter 13, verse 1. And behold, there came a man of Ahiah out of Judah by the word of the Most High unto Bethel. And Jeroboam stood by the altar to burn incense. And he cried against the altar in the word of the Most High and said.
So he's prophesying to the altar, right? He's speaking to something that's going to happen on the altar, right? Come on.
O altar, altar, thus saith the Most High, behold, a child shall be born into the house of David.
So there's going to be a child from the tribe of Judah after the blood lineage of David. Come on.
Josiah by name. And upon thee shall he offer the priests of the high places.
Upon thee, meaning the altar. Upon the altar, Josiah is going to offer the priests of the high places
that burn incense upon thee.
That burn incense upon thee.
And men's bones shall be burnt upon thee.
And what?
And men's bones shall be burnt upon thee.
So it says that there is a man of the Most High out of Judah by the word of the Most High was prophesied unto Bethel. So this is a man of the Most High. He's a prophet saying that Josiah, a king from the tribe of Judah, is going to sacrifice human beings on an altar. What is that? What is that? Now, mind you, they're burning incense unto Baal, right? And so this is why the Most High was putting that sentence of death upon them. And so just like you burn incense unto this I'm gonna burn your body on this same altar. What is that? That is blood being shed, them getting put to death for a sin. Same thing, right? Let's get the account of it. Let's get 2 Kings chapter 23. And we'll get the account of how this went down. 2 Kings chapter 23, start at 17.
This is in the book of 2 Kings chapter 23, verse 17. Then he said, what title is that I see? And the man of the city told him, it is the sepulchre of the man of Ahiah, which came from Judah, and proclaimed these things that thou hast done against the altar of Bethel.
Because when the man died, they put his bones in this sepulchre in the cave. And so he was asking, whose bones are these? And they told him it was this man of the Most High that prophesied against his altar. Come on.
And he said, let him alone.
Leave him alone.
Let no man move his bones. So they let his bones alone with the bones of the prophet that came out of Samaria. And all the houses also of the high places that were in the cities of Samaria.
Now understand, the cities of Samaria is in the northern kingdom that was wholly given unto idolatry, right? So these priests in Samaria, they're not priests unto the Most High. They're priests unto Baal and Ashtoreth, right? Come on.
Which the kings of Israel had made to provoke the Most High to anger.
They're making the Most High mad because they're serving another deity.
Josiah took away.
He took away their places of worship, their high places. Come on.
And did to them according to all the acts that he had done in Bethel.
Right. The priests as well. Come on.
And he slew all the priests.
And he killed all the priests.
Of the high places.
The high places is where you worship. Come on.
That were there. Upon the altars.
Upon what?
Upon the altars. and burnt men's bones upon them and returned to Jerusalem.
That's the account of it right there. It wasn't no prophecy. This should happen. I think this is what should go down. This actually happened at the hands of Josiah. He killed these priests. They were priests unto Baal and put their bones on the altar, like the Most High prophesied through that man, right? Human sacrifice. Again, right? Let's get Ezekiel chapter 39 and verse 1. The blessing, man, to go on this word, man, to understand fully how in order and how lawful the Most High was and letting his son fulfill the things in the law. There's nothing right now in that we read that's being that's contrary to a Mashiach being a holy atonement for our sin. There's nothing contrary to that. It's going hand in hand, right? Bring it out.
It says Ezekiel chapter 39, verse 1.
And before we start going, I'm just putting out there, this account is not an account for atonement for the sin of Israel. All right, making that clear right quick. But it is just showing you that the Most High, he does use humans as sacrifices, right? I'm not saying every sacrifice he does is for, in regards to humans, is for the atonement for Israel, because we're the only ones that got, the law of atonement for sin, covenant made with us by sacrifice. But it's going to show you that he does use humans for sacrifice, right? Let's read it.
It says, verse 1, therefore, thou son of man, prophesy against God and say, thus saith the Most High Power, behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal.
Right. And then for y'all that don't know, Gog is China. All right. Gog is China. Maybe we bring it out in another lesson. Gog is China. Magog is Mongolia. All right. And all the Japhetic people, they're Asians. All right. I don't know if y'all know this. They're not, Asians are not Moab and Ammon. All right. Moab and Ammon are descendants of Lot, who's Abram's cousin. All right. The Japhetic people are the Asians. All right. We'll go into another lesson. Most I will. Come on.
And I will turn thee back and leave but the sixth part of thee, and will cause thee to come up from the north parts, and will bring thee upon the mountains of Israel.
So mind you, Japheth was given the northern part of the earth, right? So people think that they think Russia's Og, because they say, well, that's the northern part of earth, and they're in the land of regions that Japheth was given. They conquered it. But the prophecies is talking about the people, not the landmass, talking about the people, right? So you can't look at who was in the land today to be able to break down what the revelation of prophecy is. You look at the people that it was originally given to, right? Come on.
And I will smite thy bow out of thy left hand, and will cause thy arrows to fall out of thy right hand.
So he's going to bring them upon the mountains of Israel. They're going to come in thinking they're going to come deal with us, Most High willing, when we get in the land, before Hamashiach get back, right? They're going to think, man, we're going to run up on these dudes, man, right? Come on.
Thou shalt fall upon the mountains of Israel.
They're going to die right there.
Thou and all thy bands. And the people that is with thee, I will give thee unto the ravenous birds of every sort, and to the beasts of the field to be devoured. So, mind you, the Levites, they eat the sacrifices of the Most High. The idolaters, they eat the sacrifices unto their deities. And so the Most High is saying, the ravens, birds, and the beasts of the field are going to devour these people. So they must be a sacrifice. They're getting eaten up, right? But we'll let the scriptures talk. Come on. Thou shalt fall upon the open field, for I have spoken it, saith the Most High.
They're going to die in the open field. Come on.
And I will send a fire on Magog.
I'm going to send a fire on Magog, Mongolians. Come on.
And among them that dwell carelessly in the isles, and they shall know that I am the Most High.
Keep going.
So will I make my holy name known in the midst of my people Israel.
So he's going to show us, how much of how much of a rider and how much of a mighty man of war he is on for our behalf, right? Come on.
And I will not let them pollute my holy name anymore.
He ain't gonna let us be falling in idolatry no more.
And the heathen shall know that I am the Most High, the Holy One in Yasharallah.
Right?
Behold, it is come and it is done, saith the Most High Power. This is the day whereof I have spoken.
So he's going to give you more details on the day that he's talking about. Come on.
And they that dwell in the cities of Israel shall go forth and shall set on fire and burn the weapons, both the shields and the bucklers, the bows and the arrows, and the handstaves and the spears, and they shall burn them with fire 7 years.
So when Hamashiach get back, right, and this is after this destruction when this happens, after that, we're going to get all the weapons and we're going to burn them. There's going to be no more war on the earth. We're going to burn them for 7 years. Come on.
So that they shall take no wood out of the field.
All right, we're not going to use no wood when we burn them. Come on.
Neither cut down any out of the forests, for they shall burn the weapons with fire, and they shall spoil those that spoiled them, and rob those that robbed them, saith the Most High Power.
Come on.
And it shall come to pass at that day that I will give unto Gog a place there of graves in Israel.
So there's going to be places of burial for Gog because he's going to kill them. Come on.
The valley of the passengers on the east of the sea, and it shall stop the noses of the passengers, and there shall they bury Gog, and all his multitude, and they shall call it the valley of Haman Gog,
which is the multitude, right, of Gog. They're going to be dead. You're going to be walking my spin line. Dang, this ain't over here. All these dead bodies, right? Keep going.
In 7 months shall the house of Israel be burying of them, that they may cleanse the land.
Because the Bible tell you that the land cannot be cleansed of bloodshed, but by those who have shed the blood. Their blood have to get shed to cleanse the land. So they're going to physically clean the land, taking the bodies out, and the land going to be cleansed by them people's blood being shed when they get put to death. Right? Keep going.
Yeah. All the people of the land shall bury them, and it shall be to them a renown of the day that I shall be glorified, saith the Most High.
It's going to be a renowned day. Everyone's going to be talking about it. Man, we was burying, it was so many dead people out there. We was burying them for 7 months straight. Just burying dudes, right? But we ain't going to be doing all that. Come on.
And they shall sever out men of continual employment.
We're going to go higher of the heathen. They're going to come work for us. Come on.
Passing through the land.
Yeah, they gonna thought they was passing people. Going, hey, come on over here, man. And we're gonna tell them what to do. Come on.
To bury with the passengers those that remain upon the face of the earth to cleanse it. After the end of 7 months shall they search.
So after 7 months of burying, they're still gonna be searching. Come on.
And the passengers that pass through the land, when any seeth a man's bone, then shall he set up a sign by it. Till the buriers have buried it in the valley of Haman Gog.
So it's going to be an order. You have a dude walking around, putting little stakes in the ground, like, it's a leg bone over here, it's a femur over here, it's a skull over there, it's a little thigh, hip bone over there, right? Because they're going to bury him. It's going to be just a whole valley of just death, right? You might say, well, why is it just bone? Why ain't no meat on the bone? Why ain't just saying a leg? Why is it saying a bone? Right? Come on.
And thou, son of man, thus saith the Most High Power, speak unto every feathered fowl.
Speak unto every eagle, vulture, right? Hawk. Come on.
And to every beast of the field.
Every beast, every lion, right? Every bear, right? Every hyena. Come on.
Assemble yourselves and come.
He's telling these fleshly animals to assemble themselves together and come.
Gather yourselves on every side to my sacrifice.
To my what?
To my sacrifice.
So he's saying, come gather to my sacrifice. The Most High is calling when all these people of Og and Magog are killed, it's a sacrifice. Right? Come on.
That I do sacrifice for you.
That he said he sacrificed for them. These are people. Come on.
even a great sacrifice upon the mountains of Israel,
Right?
that ye may eat flesh
Eat flesh
and drink blood.
and drink blood. That's why they're just going to find bones when they're done, because they're going to eat their flesh and drink their blood. Right? Come on.
Ye shall eat the flesh of the mighty,
Uh-huh.
and drink the blood of the princes of the earth,
Uh-huh.
of rams,
Uh-huh.
of lambs,
Uh-huh.
and of goats,
Yeah.
of bullocks,
Mhm.
all of them fattening of Bashan.
Bashan. And these are all metaphorical terms of different nations and kings. Right? Come on.
And ye shall eat fat till ye be full,
Uh-huh.
and drink blood till ye be drunken
Uh-huh.
of my sacrifice,
Mm.
which I have sacrificed for you.
Yes, this is the most I said. I got to sacrifice the human beings. Right? For the animals. Y'all come eat these people up, eat them up, gobble them up, man. Right? Come on.
Thus ye shall be filled at my table
Wow.
with horses and chariots,
Uh-huh.
with mighty men,
Uh-huh.
and with all men of wars,
With mighty men and with all men of war.
saith the Most High Power.
Come on.
And I will set my glory among the heathen,
Mm-hmm.
and all the heathen shall see my judgment that I have executed.
They're going to see, like, man, the Most High killed all these people and they got the animals eating their bodies up. Man, that's crazy. Right? Come on.
In my hand that I have laid upon them.
Right?
So the house of Israel shall know that I am the Most High their power from that day and forward.
We're going to know for sure. When he do that there, like, man, we know the Most High down for us, man. We ain't got nothing to worry about, man. Look what he just did. Like, man, we know the Most High down for us, right? Let's go to Isaiah. Chapter 53. Now, with all this that we done brought out, glory to your name, Hayabashim Shai. When we read Isaiah 53, it shouldn't be confusing at all. What's going on here with this man that's prophesied in the future to go through some things, right? On a physical level, right? Now, if we read all that, it should go hand in hand with the law in reference to atonement for sin and this being a person and not an animal, right? Just bring it up.
This is Isaiah 53, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Who hath believed our report?
Right?
And to whom is the arm of the Most High revealed?
We brought it out before. The arm of the Most High is the Son of Man, right? Salakia. It's the Son of Man, and this prophecy is regarding the Son of Man. Come on.
For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant,
All right.
and as a root out of a dry ground.
Right?
He hath no form nor comeliness.
He's not going to be all beautiful. Come on.
And when we shall see him,
When we see this person,
there is no beauty that we should desire him.
this is what the Bible is talking about. Somebody, right? Come on.
He is despised and rejected of men,
He was hated on and rejected of by men.
a man of sorrows,
Uh-huh.
and acquainted with grief.
It was grieving some when he was dealing with our people.
And we hid, as it were, our faces from him.
Mm-hmm.
He was despised, and we esteemed him not.
They didn't hold him in high regard, right? Because he came and spoke in ways that the world was not ready for, right? The chief priests, Pharisees, and scribes, they did not esteem him, okay? Even though he put them on to silence, right? Come on.
Surely he hath borne out griefs and carried our sorrows.
So this is a man that's borne our griefs, the nation of Israel. Isaiah is a prophet to the nation of Israel, and he carried our sorrows. Come on.
Yet we did esteem him stricken,
And we esteemed him stricken. We esteemed him like he was getting punished, like he did something wrong. Come on.
smitten of a higher, and afflicted.
Like the Most High did it to this person. Come on.
But he was wounded for our transgressions.
This person was wounded for others' transgressions of the law, right? It says this person was. Come on.
He was bruised for our iniquities.
He was bruised for our iniquities, our wicked ways. Come on.
The chastisement of our peace was upon him.
The correction of us for us to have peace was upon him. Come on.
And with his stripes we are healed.
Because he was whooped, right? And when he got whooped, man, his blood flowed Bless your name, Ahaya. He was whooped for us, right? Keep going.
All we like sheep have gone astray.
All of us, as with the lost sheep of the house of Israel, we gone astray. Come on.
We have turned everyone to his own way, and the Most High hath laid on him the iniquity of us all.
Who did he lay it on?
He laid the iniquity of us all.
So the Most High laid on this man all our iniquity, all our sin on him. Come on, man. So we're seeing that whatever he's been enduring, as you're reading, is for the atonement, it's for the payment of our sins, for our transgressions. This is on a man, it's not on an animal. This is in the Tanakh now, right? In the Old Testament. This is a sacrifice. This is a punishment. This is a crucifixion of a person because of iniquity and sin and transgressions. Come on.
He was oppressed, and he was afflicted.
It was afflicted.
Yet he opened not his mouth. He is brought as a lamb to the slaughter.
Man, don't they bring lambs? Just like the lambs are brought to sacrifice on the altar. He was brought as a lamb to the slaughter. Right? Come on.
And as a sheep before her shears is dumb, so he opened not his mouth.
He didn't go against what the Most High sent him on earth to do. Right? Keep going.
He was taken from prison and from judgment. And who shall declare his generation?
Who's going to teach the gospel, the good news of our King Yeshua? Who's going to shut it down, man, and say the New Testament is not real? Man, who walking around, man, blaspheming the death and resurrection of our King Yeshua, man? Who's doing that, man? You blaspheming the prophets, man. Saying that this New Testament is not real, man. You got to repent, man. And that's real. Come on.
For he was cut off out of the land of the living.
He was killed. Come on.
For the transgression of my people.
He was killed for the transgressions of the Most High's people, Israel.
Was he stricken.
And now was he stricken? He didn't do nothing. Come on.
And he made his grave with the wicked,
right?
And with the rich in his death,
right? Because he went down and preached to the souls in prison for 3 days while he was dead. Come on.
Because he had done no violence, neither was any deceit in his mouth.
No deceit, no lies. Come on.
Yet it pleased the Most High to bruise him.
Read that again.
Yet it pleased the Most High to bruise him.
One more time.
Yet it pleased the Most High to bruise him.
The Most High was pleased when all this punishment and chastisement was done on this man's body. Who are you going to say? Who can you speak and say the Most High does not deal with human sacrifice? It says it right here. It pleased the Most High to bruise him. For our sin, for our transgression, man. Disrespect my king, man. Don't disrespect the Son of the Most High, man, like that, man. We have no hope of salvation unless it's through this man, unless you believe in what this was done for us, man. And that's real. You anti-Hamashiach, man. You anti-Christ. If you don't believe on the report that was given, man. We're reading about it in the Tanakh. Come on, Bob. Bless your name, Father.
Says he hath put him to grief. When thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin.
He made his soul an offering for sin. Ain't that what we just read, Leviticus? It says the life of the flesh is in the blood, and it's the blood that maketh atonement for the soul. So it said he'd have made his soul an offering for sin. Come on.
And it says, when thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin, he shall see his seed.
The offspring, that's us. Come on.
He shall prolong his days, and the pleasure of the Most High shall prosper in his hand.
Come on.
He shall see of the travel of his soul, and shall be satisfied.
He's going to be satisfied with that, with everything he went through. Come on.
By his knowledge shall my righteous servant justify many.
So by the knowledge of what he did, right, we can live and we can be justified in the law and keeping the law, because now we don't got to die to death. We can repent and get back on track. Come on.
For he shall bear their iniquity.
He's bearing our transgression. He's bearing our iniquity. It's a human being. Bless your name, Aya. Come on.
Therefore will I divide him a portion with the great.
So because of this, the Most High got rewards for him. Come on.
And he shall divide the spoil with the strong, because he hath poured out his soul unto death.
We supposed to be dead, y'all. We supposed to be dead, y'all. Most High sent his son. He poured out his soul unto death for us. Somebody got the nerve to say, man, the Most High, man, ain't sent his son on the earth. He didn't do that. You're going to have your portion with the wicked, man. You're going to have your portion with the false pastors, the false prophets. You're speaking against this. You're going to have your portion with the dead, man. Upon his return, man, you be gracious to did not get put to death now. Leading astray the Most High chosen right now. Following the ways, man. It's people on this earth that call themselves Jewish that walk that way. You making them walk according to their ways. And they the ones that are walking around portraying to be the Most High chosen people that we know that are not. But you teaching our people, you teaching Yasha Allah to walk as them. So it doesn't even matter that these brethren know that they're Israel, because they still are not going to make it in if you're not going through the proper channels, the proper gate. Don't even matter if you know you Jake, if you're not going to believe in a Mashiach, you might as well continue to do whatever you was doing in the world, because you have no atonement for your sin. Okay, you're not cleansed. Okay, therefore, there's still some blood that need to be paid for. Whose blood think gonna get shed for your sin? If it ain't Hamashiach, who's paying for your transgression? Who's paying for your iniquity? Who? You gonna pay for it because you don't want to accept the gift that was given for you. You don't want to accept the sacrifice that the Most High gave for you. You're gonna pay for your sin. You crazy? You crazy, man? This man paid for my sin. Why in the world I'm gonna try to pay for my own sin? He already paid the price for us. We are bought with his blood, man. We belong to him, man. Finish it out.
And he was numbered with the transgressors.
He wasn't transgressor, but he was numbered with them, because transgressors die. Like we read in the law, they die for their transgression, but he was numbered with them because he died. His blood was shed as if he was a transgressor. Come on.
And he bare the sin of many.
He bore the sin of many.
And made intercession for the transgressors.
He was an intercessor for the transgressors. Between them, the transgressor, and who? The Father. He was that transgressor. He was an intercessor, right? So this is a testament and a record of Yeshai, man, that is revealed in the New Testament, right? You know, who you going to get that fulfilled all that? Okay, and you're going to go into that. We just talking about the Most High deals with sacrifice, man, of mankind, right? That is a type of flesh that can atone for sin. The blood from that type of flesh can atone for sin, right? And his name is Hamashiach Yeshai, right? Bless your name, Father, Bashem Yeshai. Let's go to Hosea, right? Let's deal with Hosea now, right? We're going to deal with Hosea right now, because this is a verse that's brought out that's supposed to be given some type of foundation of how the sacrifice, the death and resurrection of Mashiach Yeshai is not valid. It's not valid some type of way off of this chapter right here. So let's read it and let's get the true understanding according to the Bible, precept upon precept, what this talking about, all right? And if you know anything about the book of Hosea, he's prophesying against the northern kingdom who were dealing with idolatry, right? So let's, with that context, matter of fact, Let's read a little bit of Hosea chapter 1. Let's read a little bit of that. We can get so everyone can understand what's going on here.
This is in the book of Hosea chapter 1, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
The word of the Most High that came unto Hosea, the son of Beri, in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah, and in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash, king of Israel.
So this is in the days of Jeroboam, who was the king of the northern tribes. Right? Come on.
The beginning of the word of the Most High by Hosea. And the Most High said to Hosea, Go, take unto thee a wife of whoredoms.
A wife of whoredoms. That word's been coming out a lot in this lesson. Right? Come on.
And children of whoredoms. For the land hath committed great whoredom.
For the land also is committed great whoredoms. Come on.
Departing from the Most High.
Because they are not dealing with the Most High. They're dealing with another idol, another deity. Mind you, because we were married to the Most High as Israel, as a woman. So they are whore because now they're dealing with other men. Right? And the other men are likened unto idolatry, other powers. Right? Come on.
So he went into Gomer, the daughter of Diblaim, which conceived and bare him a son. And the Most High said unto him, Call his name Jezreel, for yet a little while.
So what does Jezreel mean? Come on.
And I will avenge the blood of Jezreel upon the house of Jehu, and will cause to cease the kingdom of the house of Israel.
So he's going to visit the northern kingdom and cause them to cease amongst the land in the land that he promised them. Right? This is what this chapter, this prophet is talking about. Making to cease the northern 10 tribes of Israel because they were cutting up, right? If you read, I think it's 2 Kings chapter 3, it talks about how Jeroboam set up 2 golden calves, right? And they were worshiping the 2 golden calves opposed to going down to Jerusalem under King Rehoboam and keeping the holy feast in the Torah, right? Now, let's jump over to chapter 3. Let's talk about this. Come on. Verse 1.
Hosea chapter 3, verse 1. Then said the Most High unto me, Go yet, love a woman, beloved of her friend, yet an adultery. So
go get at a woman. This is basically talking about a harlot. Come on, bring it all the way out.
According to the love of the Most High toward the children of Israel.
So this is the same. It's a metaphor. Just like the Most High loves Israel, I want you to go love this girl. Come on.
Who look to other powers.
Just like Israel, look at other deities. This whoredom deal with all type of men. See this metaphor? Come on.
And love flagons of wine. So I bought her to me for 15 pieces of silver.
This is how you know this is a harlot. He done bought her for 15 pieces of silver. And come on.
And for an homer of barley. And a half homer of barley.
Right.
And I said unto her.
Now look what he said to her.
Thou shalt abide for me many days.
So you're going to stay with me, right? I bought you, but you're going to stay with me. Come on.
Thou shalt not play the harlot.
You're not going to play a harlot.
And thou shalt not be for another man. So will I also be for thee.
So he's saying, you're going to be with me. You're not going to be harlot. You're not going to be dealing with other men no more. You're just going to deal with me, right? And I'm going to deal with you the same way, right? Mind you, the first verse told you, according to the love of the Most High toward the children of Israel, this is the same way he's wanted him, Hosea, to deal with this harlot. You understand? Now go to verse 4.
For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king.
The children of Israel, I'm going to break this down, shall abide. They're going to live many days without a king. Come on.
And without a prince.
Without a prince. So these are their rulers, their leaders, right? In the physical and in the spiritual. Every kingdom has a prince, an angel over them. So talking about the northern kingdom of Israel, they're going to abide without a king or a prince. Come on.
And without a sacrifice.
And without a sacrifice. Come on.
And without an image.
And without an image.
And without an ephod. And without teraphim.
Now let me break this down. What's going on here? Those that say the New Testament is false, use this scripture to say Israel is going to abide without a sacrifice for a time, meaning the sacrifices in the law, which we already read, include animals and human as flesh being sacrifices unto the Most High for atonement of sin. They're saying there's going to be a time, namely when our temple was torn down, that we're not going to be able to sacrifice. We're not going to be able to give sacrifice unto our power for atoning of our sin. Therefore, that time is supposed to be right now, all this time, until Mashiach comes back. And there's a third temple that we can finally get atonement for our sin for. Just disregard what we just read in Isaiah 53. All that happened, don't even look at that. They're saying that we're going to abide without sacrifice, right? We're not going to have a king. Give me to understand that, saying since we're not in Israel now, we don't have a king. That's what that's talking about. And we're not going to have a prince. And we're not going to be sacrificing. And we're not going to have an image, which we're going to show you that's not congruent with the nation of Israel. Because the nation of Israel, we don't deal with no image. We don't rear up no images. That's in the law, right? That shall not make any graven image. So this all have to be all together. This is not partial in this verse. You can't take all these things and break them down partially and say, see, we don't have a sacrifice, and not account for the image, and not account for the ephod, and not account for the teraphim, right? So this is what this scripture is used for, to tell you it's all right that, we don't have an altar, so we can't offer sacrifice, we can't offer atonement for sin right now. And this is the scripture that says we're not going to be able to be offering sacrifice for sin. So it's okay right now if we don't have no atonement for our sin. There's no blood to shed when we do something wrong. It's okay because the scripture says that. That's bull, man. Right? We're about to break that down right now. Read the last verse.
Afterwards shall the...
So after this time where they don't have a king, a prince, a sacrifice, an image, an ephod, and a teraphim, come on.
Afterwards shall the children of Israel return.
We're going to return to Israel
and seek the Most High their power, and David their king.
And we already went through the breakdown. This David is Yeshai, right? He's going to be the king. Come on.
And shall fear the Most High and his goodness in the latter day.
When?
In the latter day.
In the latter days, right? So King David's not coming back as no king over us in the latter days. We know who's coming back to be the king over us in the latter days. That's King Yeshua, right? So now we're going to break down what this is talking about, if it's not already clear, all right? Mind you, the northern kingdom of Israel is dealing in idolatry, right? The southern kingdom also was dealing with idolatry too, right? So you're not going to be able to say, I'm just trying to dice this up and say this northern kingdom. I'm going to show you northern and southern kingdom were both worshiping both deities, right? And we're going to give you some real familiar biblical phraseology so you can understand that this verse right here can never be talking about a sacrifice that is an atonement for the sins of Israel. Oh, no. It's not talking about that at all, right? At all. Bless your name, Mike. So let's first go to Genesis 49. Let's break it all the way down. Genesis 49 and verse 16. Genesis 49 and verse 16.
Genesis 49, verse 16. Dan shall judge his people.
So Dan, he's one of the tribes of Israel. It says he shall judge his people, right? Now, with judge, according to the Lord, the Torah was given to the Levites. They're the ones were to judge Israel according to the law. So we got to see, what is it talking about? Dan shall judge his people. Come on.
As one of the tribes of Israel.
As one of the tribes of Israel. So they're going to be a judge as the Levites were judging, because they want to be a judge, but they're not going to judge according to the way the Levites were judging, right? Come on.
Dan shall be a serpent by the way.
He's going to be a serpent. All through the scriptures, a serpent is likened unto and clarified as the devil. called, it tell you in Revelation that old serpent called the devil and Satan, right? Who did what? Deceived the whole world. So Dan is going to be a deceiver, right? In the way, come on.
An adder in the path.
An adder is just a death adder. It's a type of snake, a poison venomous snake, a deadly poison venomous snake, right? So Dan is going to be a serpent, a deceiver, and a one that's working in ways that will bring death or judgment and destruction upon the children of Israel. He's going to be judging the children of Israel this way, right? He's going to be judging them this way. Come on.
That biteth the horse's heel. So that his rider shall fall backwards.
So that the rider shall fall backwards, right? So he's attacking the foundation, right, of Israel, so that Israel's going to fall back. Mind you, say he's going to judge, right? Let's break that down a little bit and what it means that he's judging. Let's get Exodus chapter 18 and 13.
This is in the book of Exodus chapter 18, verse 13. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses sat to judge the people.
To what?
Sat to judge the people.
So Moses, right, of the tribe of Levi, it said he sat to judge the people, right? So how did he judge them? Come on.
And the people stood by Moses from the morning until the evening.
Come on.
And when Moses' father-in-law saw that he did to the people,
saw that he was judging the people,
he said, what is this thing that thou doest to the people? Why sittest thou thyself alone?
Why are you sitting here by yourself?
And all the people stand by thee from morning until evening. And Moses said unto his father-in-law, because the people come unto me to inquire of Ahiah.
So they want to get some matters straightened out from the Most High. So I got to sit here, they're asking from the Most High. Come on.
When they have a matter, they come into me, and I judge between one and another.
And I'm judging them one from another.
And I do make them know the statutes of Ahiah and his laws.
And I'm showing them the ways of the Most High. That's what I'm doing when I'm judging, right? So Dan, he wants to judge Israel as this Levitical tribe, right? That's what he wants to do. Let's go to Malachi chapter 2 and verse 7.
This is in the book of Malachi chapter 2, verse 7.
Come on.
For the priest's lips should keep knowledge.
So the priest's lips had the knowledge of the Most High, because they were the ones that was responsible for teaching the law. Come on.
And they should seek the law at his mouth.
The what?
They should seek the law at his mouth.
So our forefathers were seeking the law at the mouth of Moses because he was a Levite. Right? Come on.
For he is the messenger of the Most High of hosts.
He's a messenger. Right? So we're just bringing it all the way out there. That's what it means to judge according to the law, judging the laws of the Most High. So Dan, Dan was not in this position. It was Levi. So how was Dan judging Israel as one of the tribes of Israel, right? Let's go to Judges, man. Right? Let's go to Judges. We're going to get this account. We're going to get all this understanding, right? And this is breaking down what it's saying in Hosea, that we're not going to abide with a king, without a prince, and without a sacrifice, and without a image, or an ephod, or a teraphim. This is what we're reading this for, right? Judges chapter 17, right?
This is in the book of Judges chapter 17, verse 1.
Right.
And there was a man of Mount Ephraim.
Ephraim is the capital of the north. Ephraim is the name of a mountain in the land of Ephraim in the northern 10 tribes, right? Come on.
Whose name was Micah.
Right.
And he said unto his mother, the 1,100 shekels of silver that were taken from thee,
right,
about which thou cursed, and spake of also in mine ears, behold, the silver is with me.
I have the silver.
I took it.
And
And his mother said, Blessed be thou of the Most High, my son.
Come on.
And when he had restored the 1,100 shekels of silver to his mother, his mother said, I have wholly dedicated the silver unto the Most High from my hand for my son to make a graven image and a molten image.
To make a graven image and a molten image.
Now, therefore, I will restore it unto thee.
Right. So she paid to get a graven image and a molten image made for her son. Come on.
Yet he restored the money unto his mother, and his mother took 200 shekels of silver and gave them to the founder, who made thereof a graven image and a molten image, and they were in the house of Micah.
And they're in the house of Micah, right? Come on.
And the man Micah had a house of powers.
He had a house of deities that they're worshiping. Listen closely. And what did he do?
And made an ephod.
He made a what?
And made an ephod. And teraphim.
And a teraphim.
And consecrated one of his sons, who became his priest.
His priest. Oh my goodness. Is anything sounding familiar right now? Huh? Come on.
In those days, there was no king in Israel.
In those days, there was what?
No king in Israel.
Go ahead.
But every man did that which was right in his own eyes.
Oh, bless your name, high. We're in that time right now, y'all. In case y'all don't know. We don't have a king. And we're doing according whatsoever a man is convinced in his heart. Right? That's how we walking right now. Right? Oh man, this should be so clear. Go ahead and go to the next verse.
And there was a young man out of Bethlehem, Judah, of the family of Judah, who was a Levite, and he sojourned there.
Right.
And the man departed out of the city from Bethlehem, Judah.
So he came from Bethlehem, Judah,
to sojourn where he could find a place. And he came to Mount Ephraim, to the house of Micah as he journeyed.
So he came to this guy, Micah's house in Mount Ephraim. Come on.
And Micah said unto him, Whence cometh thou?
Where you coming from?
And he said unto him, I am a Levite.
So he's a Levite. He's a Levite priest. Come on.
Of Bethlehem, Judah. And I go to sojourn where I may find a place. And Micah said unto him, Dwell with me and be unto me a father and a priest.
And a priest. Come on.
And I will give thee 10 shekels of silver by the year.
That's his wages.
And a suit of apparel and thy victuals.
The suit of apparel was the ephod. Come on.
And thy victuals. So the Levite went in.
Right.
And the Levite was content to dwell with the man. And the young man was unto him as one of his sons. And Micah consecrated the Levite, and the young man became his priest.
The young man became his priest.
And was in the house of Micah.
And he's in the house of Micah. Mind you, the images that were just made by his mother, the graven image, and the other images of the idols of the powers he already had in there are in his house. So his house is not a house unto the Most High. That Levite priest is not a priest unto the Most High. He's his priest. He wants to have him there as a priest that he can be blessed still by the Most High, but he's not a priest according to what Micah is walking in. Micah's walking in idolatry. All right, come on.
Then said Micah, Now know I that the Most High will do me good, seeing I have a Levite to my priest.
So he got one foot in and one foot out. He got a Levite in his house, but he got false images in his house, right? Come on, go on to the next chapter.
This is still in the book of Judges, chapter 18, verse 1. In those days, there was no king in Israel.
Right.
And in those days, the tribe of the Danites sought them an inheritance to dwell in.
So this is what we want to break down about the Danites, right? Mind you, they are the tribe that said they would judge Israel, right? As one of the tribes of Israel. They're a serpent, they're a deceiver, and they were going to rule in a way that'll cause Israel to fall back, right? Come on.
For until that day, all their inheritance had not fallen unto them among the tribes of Israel.
So they hadn't got their land inheritance yet. All this time they didn't came into the land of Israel. Everybody else got their inheritance, but they didn't get theirs yet. Come on.
And the children of Dan sent of their family 5 men from their coasts, men of valor.
5 men of valor.
from Zorah and from Eshtaol to spy out the land.
From these two cities, they sent these 5 men out.
And to search it, and they said unto them, Go, search the land. Whom, when they came to Mount Ephraim, to the house of Micah, they lodged there.
So these 5 Danites came to this man Micah's house, right? And they stayed there because in Israel, that's how it was. You traveling somewhere, you can't get to the next spot, bam. You supposed to take your brother in, wash his feet, give him some bread, let him chill there. Then he go where he going the next day. So he stopped at Micah's house. Come on.
When they were by the house of Micah, they knew the voice of the young man, the Levite. And they turned in thither and said unto him, Who brought thee hither? And what makest thou in this place? And what hast thou here?
Just ask him his business. Why you there? Come on.
And he said unto them, Thus and thus dealeth Micah with me, and hath hired me, and I am his priest.
And I am his priest. Come on.
And they said unto him, Ask counsel, we pray thee, of the Most High, that we may know whether our way which we go shall be prosperous.
So they inquired of him, just like the children of Israel used to inquire of Moses, of the Most High. They inquired of the Levite. Come on.
And the priest said unto them, Go in peace, before the Most High is your way where ye go.
Right.
Then the 5 men departed and came to Laish, and saw the people that were therein, how they dwelt careless after the matter of the Zidonians.
So the Zidonians are Canaanites. Come on.
Quiet and secure, and there was no magistrate in the land that might put them to shame in anything.
No king or rulership over them. Come on.
And they were far from the Zidonians.
They were far from them, even though they lived after the same manner of the Zidonians. They were far from them.
And had no business with any man.
So mind you, these are the 5 Danites that are looking for a land inheritance. And they see these people dwelling as the Zidonians by themselves with no king or no rulership over them. They just doing their own thing. Come on.
And they came into their brethren, to Zorah.
So they went back home to the city of Zorah and
Eshtaol. And their brethren said unto them, What say ye?
What's up? What happened?
And they said, Arise, that we may go up against them, for we have seen the land, and behold, it is very good, and are yea still. Be not slothful to go and to enter to possess the land.
So, look, man, let's get up and go get the land. Let's get our possession. It's cool. We already spotted out. Let's go. Come on.
When ye go, ye shall come into a people secure, into a large land, for the Most High hath given it into your hands,
right?
A place where there is no want of anything that is in the earth.
So it's a blessed land. Come on.
And there went from thence of the family of the Danites, out of Zorah and out of Eshtaol.
Out of those 2 cities, Danites left how many?
600 men, appointed with weapons of war.
Come on.
And they went up and pitched in Kiriath Yearim in Judah, wherefore they call that place Mahane-dan, and to this day, behold, it is behind Kiriath Jearim. And they passed thence into Mount Ephraim, and came into the house of Micah.
So now they're back at Micah's house. Now, mind you, Micah got all kind of deities and images all in his house. Right? Come on.
Then answered the 5 men that went to spy out the country of Laish, and said unto their brethren, Do ye know that there is in these houses an ephod, and teraphim, and a graven image, and a molten image? Now therefore consider what have ye to do.
So the 5 Danites telling they 600 brethren, hey man, y'all know it's some false idols and some images up in this house, right? What y'all want to do, right? Telling you, mind you, we already see the prophecy of what type of judge Dan is going to be, right? You're seeing the birth of it right here. Come on.
And they turned thitherward and came to the house of the young man, the Levite, and to the house of Micah, and saluted him. And the 600 men appointed with their weapons of war, which were of the children of Dan, stood by the entrance of the gate.
Come on.
And the 5 men that went to spy out the land went up and came in thither.
They came in Micah's house. What they do?
And took the graven image, and the ephod, and the teraphim, and the molten image, and the priest stood in the entrance of the gate with the 600 men that were appointed with weapons of war.
All right, so aren't you seeing these things that are being read together, right? They are all in conjunction with one another in idol worship. Are you seeing it? And so we're still reading, but the sacrifices that are done to these images by the priest that wore this ephod, right, are sacrifices unto Baal and Ashtoreth. They're not to the Most High. You see this? Those sacrifices that Israel would not abide with in Hosea, they weren't sacrifices to the Most High. They were sacrifices to these images, these idols. That verse has nothing to do, in a nutshell, for our sacrifice, for our atonement is into the Most High. We're reading over and over again that all pertains to idolatry, man. Y'all seeing this? Keep reading on.
And these went into Micah's house.
These went into Micah's house, the 5.
And fetched the carved image, the ephod, and the teraphim, and the molten image. Then said the priest unto them, what do ye?
What you doing, man? Come on.
And they said unto him, hold thy peace, lay thy hand upon thy mouth, and go with us.
And go with us, come on.
And be to us a father and a priest.
They tell them the Levite to do this. Be to us a father and a priest. Come on.
It is better for thee to be a priest into the house of one man, or that thou be a priest into a tribe and a family in Israel.
See how they deceived them and used deceit. It's like, man, why don't you be a priest to a whole tribe of Danites? Why are you just being a priest to this one dude in his one house? Right? Come on.
And the priest's heart was glad.
And he got happy.
And he took the ephod.
He took the ephod.
And the teraphim.
And the teraphim.
And the graven image.
Come on.
And went in the midst of the people. So they turned and departed and put the little ones and the cattle and the carriage before them.
Y'all seeing this? We're going to read it out. Come on.
And when they were a good way from the house of Micah, the men that were in the houses near to Micah's house,
the men that were in the neighborhood in Mount Ephraim around Micah's house, come on,
were gathered together and overtook the children of Dan.
They ran up on them, like, what y'all doing, right?
And they cried unto the children of Dan, and they turned their faces and said unto Micah, what aileth thee that thou comest with such a company? And he said, ye have taken away my powers, which I made. So they're asking him, why are you running up on us, man? The Danites asking Micah with all his people in his neighborhood, why are you running up on us? And he's telling them, you took my images that I made, right? These are the same images that sacrifices were done to, right? With the ephod, which is a priestly garment unto what? That idol, that image. This is what he's banging on about. You took my stuff, man. Come on. And the priests and ye are gone away. And what have I more?
What I have left? You took all my images and you took my priests. Come on.
And what is this that ye say unto me? What aileth thee?
And why are you talking about what's wrong with you when you took all my stuff? Come on.
And the children of Dan said unto him, let not thy voice be heard among us.
Look, calm down, Micah. Don't get too loud, because if everybody don't want to let everybody hear how you coming at us. Come on.
Lest angry fellows run upon thee, and thou lose thy life with the lives of thy household.
Like, calm down, man, because if my, the other partners, man, from the tribe, they gonna come kill you. You better chill out. Come on.
And the children of Dan went their way. And when Micah saw that they were too strong for him, he turned and went back into his house.
So he left, right? Come on.
And they took the things which Micah had made,
the images, come on,
and the priests which he had, and came into Laish, into a people that were at quiet and secure, and they smote them with the edge of the sword, and burnt the city with fire.
Come on.
And there was no deliverer, because It was far from Zidon,
Mm-hmm.
and they had no business with any man.
Uh-huh.
And it was in the valley that lieth by Beth Rahab,
Mm-hmm.
and they built a city and dwelt therein.
Right.
And they called the name of the city Dan,
Right.
after the name of Dan their father,
Right.
who was born into Israel.
Uh-huh.
Howbeit the name of the city was Laish at the first.
Uh-huh.
And the children of Dan set up the graven image.
They set up the graven image. Come on.
And Jonathan, the son of Gershom,
Uh-huh.
the son of Manasseh,
Uh-huh.
he and his sons were priests to the tribe of Dan
Priest to the tribe of Dan.
until the day of the captivity of the land.
Uh-huh.
And they set them up Micah's graven image,
Mm-hmm.
which he made all the time that the house of Ahiah was in Shiloh.
So the whole time the house of the Most High was in Jerusalem, these Danites had this graven image set up from the inception of them getting their inherited land. They was already going off, right? Now, as we read through here, precept on precept, let's go back to Hosea, and it should be so clear now, right? You cannot let nobody come with no bull with the scriptures. Now that you done read the history and understanding of what these terms have to do with, right? Let's just read Hosea 3 and 4.
It says, "For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king,
It shall. It's a future prophecy. Come on.
and without a prince,
Without a prince.
and without a sacrifice,
Now, what is this sacrifice to? Come on.
and without an image,
To that image,
and without an ephod,
and out that priest.
and without teraphim."
And teraphim is another word and name for the images. All right. This was idolatry. The children of Israel's not going to have idolatry. They're going to abide. They're going to live without these things because they're going to turn from it. They're not going to be staying in this worship forever. They're going to turn from it, but that doesn't mean they're automatically still going to be in the land of Israel and have a king. But they're going to turn and they're going to live without this idol worship. They're going to turn away from it. You understand? This sacrifice has nothing to do with atonement for sin for Israel. This is talking about the worshiping and the sacrifices that were done to these images, right? By that priest, right? That were of the Danites, what we just read, right? Let's go to 1 Kings, right? Chapter 12, verse 25.
This is in the book of 1 Kings, chapter 12, verse 25.
Right.
Then Jeroboam built Shechem in Mount Ephraim.
Wow, this is Jeroboam, the king of the northern 10 tribes. He's building Shechem in Mount Ephraim, same place where Micah was. Come on.
And dwelt therein, and went out from thence and built Peniel. And Jeroboam said in his heart, now shall the kingdom return to the house of David.
House of David is Judea, the southern kingdom of Judah. And he's saying that the kingdom, his northern kingdom, is going to turn back into the house of David. Come on.
If these people go up,
if they go up
to do sacrifice in the house of the Most High at Jerusalem,
right,
then shall the heart of these people turn again into their master. Even unto Rehoboam, the king of Judah.
Right. They're going to leave off of him and go back and serve it to Rehoboam. And what?
And they shall kill me.
And kill Rehoboam.
And go again to Rehoboam, king of Judah.
And that way the whole kingdom will all be one kingdom again. So this is what Jeroboam is fearing as he's taking authority and being king over the northern 10 tribes. Verse 28.
Whereupon the king took counsel.
So Jeroboam took advice and what?
And made 2 calves of gold.
These are 2 images, y'all. These are 2 molten images, y'all. Come on.
And said unto them, it is too much for you to go up to Jerusalem.
You all got to go to Jerusalem to worship.
Behold thy powers, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt.
You can just worship these deities right here. Same calves that our forefathers built when Moses was getting the commandments. So you could just serve these 2 right here. Come on.
And he said the one in Bethel.
He said one in Bethel. This is the city where the lady was getting the images built for her son Micah. Come on.
And the other put he in Dan.
And put the other one in Dan. because Dan already had the stronghold for the idol worship. See that? Come on.
And this thing became a sin.
Uh-huh.
For the people went to worship before the one, even unto Dan.
So what you think they're doing over there in Dan? Worshiping that golden image, they're sacrificing to him. And Dan was a judge, which according to the law is a priest, right? Wearing the ephod unto the worship of these two golden calves, which are images, y'all. You see this? Come on.
For the people went to worship before the one, even unto Dan.
Right.
And he made an house of high places.
A house of high. So Jeroboam, he's the king that made a house of high places. Come on.
And made priests of the lowest of the people.
So they made priests or judges of the lowest of the people. These are the Danites that he made priests out of. Which
were not of the sons of Levi.
See that? All glory to your name, Hayabashimishai. Let's get Ezekiel 8 and verse 1. Because I was just showing you that the northern kingdom was dealing in idolatry, and this who Hosea was prophesying against. But the southern kingdom too was dealing with idolatry, and that's why I said the children of Israel shall abide without a king and a prince and an ephod, because the whole kingdom was in idolatry, but they're actually all going to turn away from it too. All right, let's read Judah, southern kingdom, dealing with idolatry. Ezekiel was 8 and 1. Bring it out.
This is Ezekiel chapter 8, verse 1.
Yeah.
And it came to pass in the 6th year, in the 6th month, in the 5th day of the month, as I sat in my house, and the elders of Judah sat before me, that the hand of the Most High Power fell there upon me. Then I beheld, and lo, a likeness as the appearance of fire, from the appearance of his loins, even downward fire, and from his loins, even upward, as the appearance of brightness, as the color of amber. And he put forth the form of an hand, and took me by a lock of my head, and the spirit lift me up between the earth and the heaven, and brought me in the visions of the Most High to Jerusalem.
Right, so he's seeing a vision right now. Come on.
To the door of the inner gate that looketh toward the north, where was the seat of the image of jealousy, which provoked to jealousy. So
the angel was showing him an abomination that was being done in Judah, right? And showing him where it was at the gate. It said, to the door of the inner gate that looked toward the north, where was the seat of the image of jealousy, which provoked to jealousy. The only thing that provoked the most out of jealousy is when we did an idolatry. There's an image, right? Keep going.
And behold, the glory of the Most High Israel was there according to the vision that I saw in the plain.
So he's talking about, he saw another vision in chapter 1 when cherubims came down. So the same glory of the same vision was there. Same angel. Come on.
Then said he unto me, Son of man, lift up thine eyes now the way toward the north. So I lift up my eyes the way toward the north, and behold, northward at the gate of the altar, this image of jealousy in the entry. He said furthermore unto me, Son of man, seest thou what they do?
You see this wickedness, man, Judah doing? Come on.
Even the great abominations that the house of Israel committed here, that I should go far off from my sanctuary. But turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations.
So I'm going to show you some more they're doing. This is not it. It ain't just this image. Come on.
It says, and he brought me to the door of the court, and when I looked, behold, a hole in the wall.
Right.
Then said he unto me, Son of man, dig now in the wall. And when I had digged in the wall, behold, a door. And he said unto me, Go in and behold the wicked abominations that they do here.
Go in here and look at all this other wicked stuff that I hate they doing. Come on.
So I went in and saw, and behold, every form of creeping things and abominable beasts, and all the idols of the house of Israel portrayed upon the wall round about. And there stood before them 70 men of the ancients of the house of Israel.
70 elders of Israel.
And in the midst of them stood Jezaniah,
Mm-hmm.
the son of Shaphan,
Mm-hmm.
with every man his censer in his hand.
Burning incense. Come on.
And a thick cloud of incense went up.
Come on.
Then said he unto me, Son of man, hast thou seen what the ancients of the house of Israel do it in the dark?
So you seeing these ancients burning incense to these false idols? Come on.
Every man in the chambers of his imagery.
Mm-hmm.
For they say, the Most High seeth us not.
Mm-hmm.
The Most High has forsaken the earth.
Mm-hmm.
He said also unto me,
Mm-hmm.
Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations that they do.
I'm gonna show you some more they doing. Come on.
Then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Most High's house,
Mm-hmm.
which was towards the north.
So to the gate of the Most High's house, the temple. Come on.
And behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz.
Who's Tammuz? Tammuz is the son of Nimrod, right? The son of Semiramis, right? This is who Baal is, all right? So I'm showing you that the southern kingdom was worshiping Baal as well. Yes, look it up. I told y'all over and over and over, man. Tammuz, man. Nimrod, Semiramis, and Tammuz is the real Trinity. Okay, we ain't got no Trinity in our scripture. That's the real Trinity of the world, right? Of ancient Babylon, right? And they're worshiping her. They're weeping for Tammuz because that was a ritual from Nimrod dying. They would weep for Tammuz. And this was orchestrated by Semiramis that he would be reincarnated and brought back into the earth. So they would cry for him. And this was a holiday that they had when they do this, right? Come on.
Then said he unto me, Hast thou seen this, O son of man?
Mm-hmm.
Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations than these.
It ain't it. I'm gonna keep showing you. I'm gonna show you some more. Come on.
And he brought me into the inner court of the Most High's house.
Man, now they're in the inner court, you guys. Come on.
And behold, at the door of the temple of the Most High, between the porch and the altar, were about 25 men,
25 men,
with their backs toward the temple of the Most High, and their faces towards the east.
And what they doing?
And they worship the sun towards the east.
You see this? They standing in the inner court with their back to the temple, worshiping the sun. Okay, mind you, Nimrod is the sun power. So they're worshiping Baal and Asherah. They're dealing in idolatry. And this is Southern Kingdom of Judah, right? Last verse.
Then he said unto me, Hast thou seen this, O son of man?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a light thing to the house of Judah?
To the house of Judah.
That they commit the abominations which they committed here? For they have filled the land with violence and have returned to provoke me to anger. And lo, they put the branch to their nose.
Right. So this is showing you emphatically that the Southern Kingdom was also dealing in this idolatry. Right. So let's go ahead and go to let's go ahead and go back to Hosea and read that one more time, and then we'll close it out, man. You made it real clear, right? Real clear. We have a sacrifice, man. A forever holy atonement for sacrifice for our sins. It is King Yeshua, right? And this scripture does not tell you that a Mashiach sacrifice is not scriptural. Okay. This tells you that we would turn away from dealing in idolatry. Right? Read it one more time. Hosea 3 and 4.
It says, this is Hosea chapter 3, verse 4. For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king.
Because we don't have a king right now. Come on.
And without a prince.
And we don't have that prince protection right now by that angel right now. Come on.
And without a sacrifice.
This sacrifice.
And without an image.
Not an image.
And without an ephod. And without teraphim.
See, all these things are go hand in hand, man, with idolatry. As we just read all that to you. Right? So to get that out the way, there's only one way to conclude in the death and resurrection of Yeshua. It was scriptural and it did fulfill prophecy, right? So let's go ahead and go to Isaiah 34. And let's close it out there. Before 16.
Yes.
Right.
This is Isaiah chapter 34, verse 16.
Mhm.
Seek ye out of the book of the Most High and read.
Right. So we just read the scriptures. We're not quick to just put something out there. We want to read thoroughly. We want to search the scriptures, right? Because that's what the Most High said do. Come on.
No one of these shall fail.
None of the words are going to fail. None of the prophecies are going to fail. Everything that's prophesied about how we atone for sin, it's going to be that way. And it has been that way. Come on.
None shall want her mates.
You can't make these words, these books, with any other, with the Book of the Dead, with the Quran, with the Hindu book. None of that. This is our book, our history. Come on.
For my mouth it hath commanded,
Most High commanded. Come on.
and his spirit it hath gathered them.
So what's going to happen? Right? The Most High speak these things. The Most High line these things up. It's going to happen. Right? So, I pray y'all got clear understanding today, right? That the King Yeshua, all right? He is our King. He is our forever holy atonement for sin. And that we got to lean on him. We got to look on him. We got to bless him. We got to trust in him, right? If we have any hope of receiving the promised land or any of the other promises that the Most High promised unto us, all right? It's valid, it's scriptural, plenty scriptural. He's our King, right? Give me one more precept. Give me Proverbs 30:4, right? Yeah, Proverbs chapter 30:4.
This is in the book of Proverbs chapter 30, verse 4.
Uh-huh.
Who hath ascended up into heaven or descended?
Who has ascended up or descended, right? Everybody, no man can just get up and ascend up there. So who did this? Come on.
Who hath gathered the wind in his fist?
Who has gathered the wind in his fist?
Who hath bound the waters in a garment?
Sounds like the creator right now. Come on.
Who hath established all the ends of the earth?
Right.
What is his name?
What is his name? His name is Ahaya, Ashur Ahaya, I am that I am. Come on.
And what is his son's name?
What is his what?
What is his son's name?
So the creator has a son. Come on.
If thou canst tell.
And we telling you his son's name is Hamashiach Yeshua. You understand? That's what scriptures say, right? In the Tanakh, right? That the Father, the creator of heaven and earth, has a son, right? Son's name is Yeshua, right? You got anything out?
You covered thoroughly. I just pray, y'all have the ears to hear, the eyes to see. Because whether you want to believe it or not, the inevitable is going to happen. And Hamashiach Yeshua is going to come. That's not up for negotiation.
Right. Honor and praise to the Most High, Yeshua. I really pray, that there's no time to want to go against the word of truth. There is no time to ever go against that. But I pray you're not taken in that deception that the New Testament is fabricated and that it's not authentic. It is scripture, y'all. All right. And it is the scripture. It is the part of the book that allows us to partake in the whole volume of the book. We have to believe on the King Yeshua and what he did, that we can live and be in good standing with this covenant that we are still under, right? Honor and praise, glory to the Most High power in heaven, Yeshua, Bahashim, Yeshua. Love y'all, man. Pray y'all endure. A whole lot going on. We got plenty more stuff to be bringing out. RTBT, Most High willing, tomorrow. And y'all just endure, man. Stay prayed up, fast, y'all. You gotta fast, man. You gotta subdue your flesh. Your flesh is gonna be one of your biggest enemies if you don't have control over it as we're going through the tribulation. because it's through the lust of the flesh that the enemy is going to try to provoke you to take that mark, right? So y'all be blessed, man. Pray our strength, man. We can pray for you, all right? Kwam Yasha Allah.
Kwam Yasha Allah.
Shalom.
Shalom.